used to be the golden child. Top A student. Head girl in primary school. The one teachers used as an example. The one parents pointed at and said, "Why can't you be like her?" And then boom, just as one. COVID hits. The world shut down, and so did I. The joy, the motivation, the discipline, the drive, gone. Online school, a blur. Let's be honest, who actually learned anything during online school? By just 2 and 3, I had surgery. And I was still stuck in that cycle, wake up, switch on Zoom, and go right back to sleep. I missed lessons, skipped assignments, and before I knew it, I had lost years of learning. Then SS1 came, and I thought, okay, time to get serious. No more playing and bringing back top students in Nafisa. But something strange happened. I was a senior now. The big kids, that title, it got to me. I was a troublemaker. Always pushing the line, thinking I was untouchable, thinking I would be fine. Now, my grades were not crazy bad, but they were not me. Then one day, I got my first F. I remember sitting there, staring at that paper, my hands shaking. I blinked, I looked again, it didn't change. The ugly red F was still staring back at me. I had never failed before. Never. It felt like the ground beneath me had disappeared, like something inside me had cracked. I walked out of that classroom in a daze, feeling like my entire identity had just collapsed. And if I thought that was bad, the worst was yet to come. My first bad report card. I carried it home like it was something poisonous, like maybe if I didn't look at it, it wouldn't be real. I avoided my parents the entire day, tried to pretend like it didn't exist. But eventually, I had to hand it over. That was the moment my world fell apart. Now my dad didn't just look disappointed. My dad looked hurt. My father looked betrayed. I had never seen my dad like that before. He held the report card in his hands, flipping through it slowly, his eyes scanning the grades. Then he looked up at me. For a second, just a second, I saw tears in his eyes. I, Nafisa Abubakar, had just made my father cry. And then the shouting started. Nafisa! His voice was shaking. Kina gani zaki zuwa ko ina a rayuwa da wannan? House of War, do you think this will get you anywhere in life? Ani kina gane kanki? Dan gaskiya ni bana gane ki. Do you even recognize yourself? Because I don't. And the worst part, neither did I. I just stood there, silent, my throat burning. I wanted to say something. I wanted to defend myself. I wanted to explain that I didn't mean for this to happen, that I didn't know how I got there. What was I supposed to say? That I had stopped caring? That I had stopped trying? That I had let everything slip through my fingers? That night, I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, feeling completely hollow. My dad's voice kept replaying in my head, do you even recognize yourself? For the first time, I was scared to answer, because I didn't. I wasn't the golden child anymore. Teachers didn't call my name in staff meetings for good reasons. My parents weren't proud of me. Even I wasn't proud of me. I had become everything I had once looked down on. Unfocused, mediocre, a disappointment. That night, I don't remember if I fell asleep or I blacked out from all the tears, but I do remember promising myself that I would never, ever make my father cry again. I promised myself that this was going to be the last time I was going to feel that sort of disappointment again. The next morning, something in me snapped. I woke up, got dressed, and as I walked into school, as cliche as it sounds, I knew exactly what I had to do. I walked straight to the front of the classroom and sat down. First period, government. The legislative makes the law, executive implement it, and judiciary interpret it. The first thing I learned in that class is engraved in my brain till this day. I remember sitting there, listening, understanding. It wasn't just noise anymore. It was like my brain had finally woken up. That was the moment I fell in love with government. And to date, it's still my favorite subject. But getting back to the top, it wasn't easy. I had to unlearn years of laziness. I had to relearn what it meant to be disciplined. I had to push myself in ways I had never before. I cried over textbooks. I struggled to focus, and some nights I felt like giving up. But I didn't. And now here I am, SS3, a prefect, top of the class. My grades, straight A's. If not hundreds, then pretty close. Teachers use me as an example again, not just because I'm smart, but because I changed. For the first time in years, I feel like me again. But here's the thing. If I hadn't failed, if I hadn't completely lost my way, I don't think I would be standing here today. If I had been perfect all along, I might have had a flawless transcript, but I wouldn't be myself. My failure forced me to fight for success. It forced me to become who I am now. Now, when I look at my SS1 grades, I don't feel bad. Don't get me wrong, I do regret them, but I choose to use them as a reminder. A reminder of what happens when I stop pushing, when I stop caring, when I stop trying. A reminder that painful, embarrassing, heartbreaking failure is sometimes the only way to truly grow. So if you're in that place right now, if you feel like you've completely lost yourself, let me be the first to say you can come back. Because I did. I fell, I lost my way, yet I'm still standing here, stronger, better, wiser. Failing isn't the worst thing that can happen to someone. Staying down is. Now, I have dreams. Yes, I know, in your head, you're thinking, dreams? Plural? Yes, I have dreams. I want to be a politician. Not for the money, but because I want to completely eradicate corruption. But at the same time, I want to alleviate poverty. But most importantly, I want to be a teacher. Not just any teacher. I want to be exactly like my teachers, Ms. Kafayat, Mr. Fevzi, Mr. Peter, Ms. Miriam. My teachers that helped me get back to the top. Yes, I know, a lot. But here's one thing. I know I can do it. Because no matter how much I fail, no matter how much I tremble, no matter how confused I am, I know I can get back up. I'm going to leave you with one thing. If failing was the price I had to pay to be who I am today, then I'm thankful I failed. In fact, I'm excited to fail more. Thank you.